A lot of foundations and cushions these days have an SPF number on the label. And honestly, that's where the confusion starts. A lot of people see that number, figure they're covered, and skip the dedicated sunscreen entirely. But here's what a 2021 study found when they tested exactly that. Using real products, applied the way people actually apply them in the morning. The results are worth knowing about because they change how you think about the whole routine. If your makeup has no SPF at all, your foundation is giving you zero sun protection. You need something dedicated underneath it. But the more interesting case is when your cushion or foundation does have SPF on the label, and you're relying on that instead of a separate sunscreen. The study measured what actually happens to that SPF number when you apply makeup the way real people do, not the lab amount, but the amount you'd actually put on your face. And the gap between label and reality turns out to be significant. Here's the starting point. The SPF number on any product is measured at 2 milligrams per square centimeter of skin. For your face and neck, that works out to about a quarter teaspoon. In real life, people apply roughly half of that. We covered this in the SPF video. It's appearing in the corner right now. But it applies to makeup products too, and actually more so, because you apply foundation for coverage, not for protection. A cushion rated SPF 50, applied at typical real-world amounts, delivered an actual SPF of about 10. A liquid foundation with SPF 15 came in around 7 or 8. A powder with SPF 15 gave about 5. So that SPF 50 on your cushion is working at roughly SPF 10 on your face. That's the reality of relying on makeup as your primary protection. So what happens when you put dedicated sunscreen underneath and then apply your makeup on top? The study tested 2 scenarios, both with products applied at real-world amounts. Scenario 1. Sunscreen, then cushion on top. The sunscreen at real amounts gave SPF 19. The cushion at real amounts gave SPF 10. If you added those numbers, you'd expect protection around SPF 30. The actual measured result was SPF 40. Scenario 2. Sunscreen, then liquid foundation, then powder. Expected sum around SPF 32. Actual result, SPF 38. So layering gives you more than the sum of the parts. And there are 2 reasons for that. The first is film thickness. Sunscreen filters perform best at a specific depth. When you apply sunscreen at half the recommended amount, the film is thinner than it needs to be. Adding a layer of liquid foundation on top brings the total thickness closer to where those filters actually perform. The second reason is coverage gaps. When you apply sunscreen on your own, there are always uneven patches, thin spots, small areas where the product didn't spread quite right. A liquid layer on top fills those gaps and makes the overall coverage more consistent across your whole face. More consistent coverage means more consistent protection. This is also why liquid products add more to the effect than powder. Powder sits on top of skin texture rather than filling the gaps underneath. The sequence that actually works looks like this. Sunscreen goes on last, after your skincare, moisturizer, serum, whatever you use, about a quarter teaspoon for face and neck. Then you wait. 10 to 15 minutes is enough for the product to settle and form a proper film on the skin. If you apply foundation immediately on top, you risk breaking up that film before it's set. After the wait, your makeup goes on normally. Foundation, cushion, whatever you use, applied the way you always apply it. You're not adding extra for sun protection, but that layer is contributing to your overall SPF. Powder lasts if you use it. It adds something small. It doesn't cancel anything. The order matters, the waiting matters, and the separate products matter. 3 things that break the whole system. mixing sunscreen and foundation together in your palm before applying. It feels like it saves time, but when you combine them, you're changing the concentration of the filters and losing the layering benefit entirely. The SPF becomes unpredictable. Apply them separately, one after the other, with time in between. Applying everything in one continuous 5-minute rush. The layering effect depends on each product having time to form a proper layer. Sunscreen, then 30 seconds later foundation. The film hasn't settled. A 3-minute gap between sunscreen and your first makeup product makes a real difference to how the protection actually forms on your skin. And using a powder with SPF as your main sun protection when there's nothing else underneath. At real-world amounts, that powder is giving you around SPF 5. If someone skips dedicated sunscreen and just dusts on an SPF powder over bare skin, they're not protected. The powder works as a finishing layer on top of a proper routine. On its own, it's not enough. Back to the question from the beginning. SPF 50 sunscreen plus SPF 50 cushion, applied the way most people actually apply them, gives you a real-world SPF of around 40. Not 100, not 50, but more than either product alone, and more than the math would predict. The system works when the order is right and the products are separate. Dedicated sunscreen first, about 1/4 teaspoon, then 10 minutes before anything goes on top. Then your makeup as you normally would. And if you're still figuring out which sunscreen to use and what UVA protection actually means, the previous video covers exactly that. Link is below.